episode 20.
Hey, this is John Lee Dumas of EO Fire, and you're listening to the Small Business Puzzle Podcast. You must be prepared to ignite.
Struggling to get your business online? You've come to the right place. Welcome to the Small Business Puzzle Podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Michael and Teresa Blaze.
Welcome to the Small Business Puzzle Podcast. I'm Michael, and I'm here with my better half and co-host and wife and business partner, Teresa.
Could I have any more titles?
Well, I can add a few. Let's see. Director of Marketing, VP of Marketing.
I didn't say list them all.
Mother of my child. Love of my life. Yeah. That about sums it up.
Yeah, no, hey guys, how are you doing this morning, or evening, or afternoon, wherever? I am Teresa Blaze, as he said, pretty much jack of all trades, so on and so forth, or Jill, or whatever. And we are here to, Mike, he took the microphone this time, so it's his idea. And before we do that, let's get through some announcements.
Okay, not a huge amount of announcements. We did have some downtime on the website. I turned out that I made a mistake on the domain name server was set incorrectly. We had moved our domain and had not realized that all the settings hadn't transferred. So everything is back up and running, so if you saw an announcement about it being down for maintenance, that's why. So, the survey, we did get some response, not as much as we wanted, but we will be implementing the suggestions that we were given in the survey in the next few episodes. And now, a word from our sponsor. This segment is brought to you by the Super Affiliate Network. You can find out more at www.thenewrich.net. So what I wanted to talk about tonight was word-of-mouth marketing, but I'm going to talk about it in kind of a roundabout way.
Okay.
First thing I want to talk about is an example I saw on Bar Rescue. It's a show, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's a show, what this guy does is he goes in, he's a business consultant, and he goes in and rescues these bars and completely revamps them and, gets them out of trouble. And this particular episode, and we will definitely put the show notes in the link in the show notes so you can watch the episode. We watch it on Hulu. I don't know if there's any other ways to watch it, but I'll try to chase that down for you. But it really was profound. What had happened in the episode is the guy was a defense contractor and had been over in Afghanistan with his brother, and his brother had gotten injured, and they came back to the U.S. And basically what happened is he wanted to do a crowdfunding campaign to raise money for homeless veterans.
And let's be clear, great idea, wonderful idea, something we support.
Absolutely. Our veterans are treated like crap nowadays, and if we said something bad about the veterans, it'd be like cutting off our own nose to spite our face. My dad's a 20-year vet, Army vet, and Teresa's mom is a vet, and her dad and her stepdad were both vets. So, yeah, we're not going to say anything negative about veterans for sure. So anyway, what ended up happening is he put up this video where he invited this homeless man into his car, and he was going to run through the drive-thru and get him some food. And the guy claimed that he was a vet, so he decided to use the video along with the crowdfunding campaign. Perfectly okay thing, right? Until he found out later on that the guy wasn't a vet. So he was sitting there with egg on his face. And to make things worse, because he didn't really know where he wanted to put the money, where he was going to contribute the money, people started accusing him of ripping off the people that had contributed to the fund. He raised like $20,000, no small shakes.
No, I mean, and the thing is, and I mean, he had raised all this money, and he had, done okay, but here's what happened. When he raised the money, the people started accusing him, and then he did the one thing you never, ever, 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 ever want to do, especially if you are a business owner representing your business. He got negative, and he started arguing back on social media very publicly.
And as a result, his bar took a hit. And he started losing customers in his bar because nobody wanted to come in because they considered him a crook.
And, that goes back, honestly, to reputation. I mean, we talked about reputation in a previous episode.
Yes, we did.
And, his reputation took a serious dive because he handled the criticism wrong. One of the things when you deal with reputation marketing, if someone comments something to you and does a review, and, you don't want to respond negatively, you want to respond decently. Well, he didn't do that.
Right.
He didn't do that. And
he got upset, he got angry, and he started running his mouth.
And the thing is, when you run your mouth, especially now on social media, we live in a time where if you tweet it, a minute later it can be read and taken as fact.
Yep.
Okay.
Look at our election as an example. I mean,
oh, good grief.
And there are so many, and I got caught up in it myself because I wasn't thinking straight, and I ended up posting something one day that turned out to not be true. So yeah, you gotta be careful what you put in social media.
The thing is, we live in a time when, we have small computers that just so happen to have a phone capability in our pocket at all times. Okay? Not only that, but we live in a time where if you are connected and you see something posted, guess what? It is. I'm thinking of something that Jack Dorsey said, who happens to be the CEO of Twitter. And honestly, this is not just talking about Twitter. It's talking about all of social media. But in this case, he was referring to Twitter, and I honestly believe it is true. He said Twitter is the people's news network.
Yep.
Okay. Now, is it the same with other social media platforms?
Absolutely.
Maybe. Yes.
Well, I mean, as far as the news thing, maybe not. But as far as the principles that apply, I mean, we get notifications on our freaking phone.
I mean,
about what happens on Facebook. Someone sits there and puts out a Facebook. That's how we found out that a very dear friend of ours had gotten hurt last year, and we knew in minutes afterwards. We got a post on Facebook that told us that this friend had gotten hurt.
And I have heard that there are people that use Facebook to scan for their news.
I do.
Versus trusting media companies and whatnot. You know what? And so here's the thing. When we're talking about word of mouth marketing, we're not just talking about going door to door.
That's old. That's old school marketing.
Yeah.
And old school marketing works
if done the right way.
But when you literally have a device in your hand that you can sit there and with the click of a few buttons send something off to the world, I mean,
Well,
think about
let's put it this way.
Think about it this way. You've got hundreds or in my case, on Facebook, I have a little over 400 followers. On Twitter, I have a little over 1,500 on my personal Twitter.
Which, by the way, guys, if you want to follow us, it's Michael Blaze, at Teresa Blaze on Twitter. And it's and on LinkedIn.
And
okay?
The Small Business Puzzle, if you're not following it already, is at Small Biz Puzzle on both Facebook and on Twitter. So definitely follow us, and we'll do our best to practice what we preach, so to speak.
Yeah, but I mean, I want you to think about something, because I've got a window open here, and what I'm doing is I'm, composing a tweet as we speak, working on a podcast, keep watching the Small Business Puzzle. Now, what's going to happen? That's going to go out to, say, 400, 500 followers, and they're going to go to our site, and they're going to be watching it if they're interested on what we have to say. And guess what? I get responses because of some of the things that I do on Twitter, for example. What are some of the metrics that you want to watch for when you're talking about word of mouth marketing on Twitter? Because I honestly do believe social media is the new word of mouth marketing.
Okay, well, let me use another example that happened to us recently.
Go.
There was a friend of mine that I reconnected with on Facebook that I haven't talked to, probably 15 years. And I happened to come across something on one of my friends' pages, and I said, "Oh, I know that guy." And so I sent him a message, and next thing you know, we're reconnecting, and he's asking me what I do, and so on and so forth. And I told him what we did, and we talked about maybe doing a website deal. And that's another point when you talk about word of mouth marketing. I told you this is going to be around the bush a little bit. When you are on Facebook, Facebook can be a lot of fun, but if you're using Facebook for business, you need to let your followers know what in the heck you're doing. If you don't already have a Facebook page, you need to build one. Plain and simple.
And you need a page for your company.
For your business.
For your for your business. You really, really do. I've heard it, the best way I like to think about it when you're talking about Facebook, okay? Your profile is for you personally. Your page is for your business.
And that's something important, guys. Don't try to use your personal profile for your business, or try to create a personal profile for your business. That's what the business pages are for. And if Facebook catches you, they will shut you down. I promise you.
So, I guess what we're trying to say here is the takeaways here are: one, understand the new way of marketing. Understand that word of mouth marketing has completely changed. It is no longer just about, picking up a phone or talking to someone. It's about, granted that does work, okay, but it's about social media marketing. Number two, understand that what you say on the socials does matter. I understand that some when I post on Twitter, oh, okay, I'm listening to thus and so song on, from my phone, but see, here's the thing. Have you ever stopped to think about that song, whatever you're listening to, that little interface has a share button? And not only does it have a share button, but that share button links to Twitter and to Facebook.
Yep.
So you can be listening to something right now and sharing it.
Been there, done that. I was doing that the other day.
And the thing is, if you are sharing it, guess what? That means everybody else kind of knows what you're into. Now, is that a good thing? It can be. But if you don't treat it right and you don't treat it properly, it could really hurt you as well. So, I mean, I guess that's honestly what I have to say. That's kind of what I'm looking at is, when you're working in the socials, understand that your reputation is critical if you don't mind what you're saying and how you're saying it.
Yeah, and there's something else to think about too. A lot of companies now, this is not directly directed at a business owner necessarily, but a lot of companies now will look at your Facebook page to see what you post on your Facebook page, and if you're posting stuff that's derogatory, you can end up losing your job, or they may not even hire you.
Even more than that, if you're posting stuff that company doesn't agree with, case in point, look at the guy who used to run, what was it? Firefox.
Right.
He actually donated to a cause that they didn't agree with, and they fired him.
Yeah, it's we're in a different world than we were in before, and people will scrutinize you for sure.
I mean, if you look at for example, if you look at my Twitter, I make it very clear what I'm about. I'm a blogger, I'm a mother, I'm a Christian, I'm a this, I'm a that. So people kind of know what they're getting when they follow me. Yep. And I'm real. I don't just post about business stuff all the time on Twitter. I post stuff about, my favorite football team and forgive me, my cat has decided to join us.
Same here. I play Minecraft. I've been playing Minecraft for a few years now, and that's kind of how I relax. So I play Minecraft and I play Jedi Academy, and I will talk about that. And if you look at my personal Facebook, you'll see some of those things, but not necessarily on my business pages. I try to limit that to business stuff.
And I get it's interesting because but you're talking that's Facebook. I think on Twitter you kind of have to be a little real unless you are going to devote that Twitter to your brand.
Well, if you're posting from I think the same rule applies though. If you're, you can put your stuff out there, but when you've got a business Facebook page. Or, there I go again, a business Twitter page or a business Twitter account that's strictly for the business, then you probably need to be a little more business-like on that because they probably don't care what you had for lunch, and they probably don't care about what your dog did this morning and so forth.
Oh, I agree. But would you not agree, Mike, then, that your personal Twitter account, you can bring all that stuff in?
Absolutely. Your
business, your team, your whatever.
Being real. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always scanning my feed for interesting things that appeal to my interests.
And, you're good with Twitter. I'm better with Facebook, personally.
And that's interesting. That's because I am working on Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm kind of starting to actually understand how both of those work. Although, LinkedIn is kind of my, okay. But I'm not bragging. I'm just saying each one of these has a different, reason for existing. And I use each one of them very differently.
Yes. LinkedIn, as an example, is a really, really good place to build up your network and to market your services, especially if you're a consultant, because they have a lot of business owners out there. But you still have to do it the right way.
Yeah, you do, and I am learning how better to use that. Because that's not. I'm best when it work. I like working with Twitter. I like working with little what's the word I'm looking for here? If I find something interesting, I will normally hit tweet. I like to tweet it.
Now, something I remembered from the bar rescue episode I just thought about. There was something that John Tapper said. He was talking to one of his partners, and he said, when anything in social media, you need to take, even if it's negative, you need to turn it into a positive.
There you go.
And I think that's the bottom line. Take any negative and turn it into a positive. For example, someone disagrees with you on social media, or maybe you're a restaurant and they say your food sucks. What you want to do is you want to say, I'm really sorry you feel that way. Why don't you give us another shot? Why don't you give us another shot? Here's a 20% off coupon or whatever.
Yeah. Just apologize, and how can we make it better, that kind of thing.
Right.
I have a perfect example, actually. On Twitter, I had just bought a app called MindNote. Okay? And we downloaded it on my phone. Now, what MindNote is it's a mind mapping app. Here's the thing. It's accessible to VoiceOver. What did I do? I didn't send them an email. No. I hopped right on Twitter and I went, thank you for making this accessible to the blind. And guess what? They responded.
Well, we definitely beat around the bush today, huh, Therese?
Oh, yes. So,
I hope we haven't totally confused you, and you're gonna, we don't want you unsubscribing, because I promise you, this episode's a little different from our normal free for our normal stuff, but
it's honestly something we're thinking about and thinking through. And also, guys, if you want to see a lot more of our because you're going to learn about, you'll get the show notes off of the Small Business Puzzle, but my goal is to write a little longer form articles on my personal blog about business, marketing, copywriting, that kind of thing, and other things as they come up. If you guys are interested in that, you can check out TheresaBlaze.com, and I do believe Mike is going to be doing something on his blog.
Yes, I am going to be relaunching my blog. My blog has been dormant for a while because I've been working on our company sites, but I am going to relaunch my blog. So what's up there now will not be there in a few weeks. I'm just trying to decide what direction I want to go with and how I want it to look and so forth. So my blog is at michaelblaze.com. And again, Theresa's is at theresablaze.com.
Yeah, so if you guys want to follow, I promise you're going to get at least one blog post a week. Or I'm going to shoot for one blog post a week. And I'm going to also be doing some revisions and adding some things and so on and so forth. So if you guys want to follow along, I would love to have you.
Absolutely. And we've been a little inconsistent lately with our posting dates. But that is going to change. We're going to make sure we get this thing out by each Tuesday. So be sure to look on Tuesday for your new episode, and we should be good. But that is our goal from now on, is to make sure that our episodes are out on time. Sometimes life just has a tendency to get in the way. So I think that's it on my end, Therese.
Yep, I do. I think so too. So with that, I'm Theresa.
And I'm Michael.
God bless you and good night.
This is episode number 20. Can you believe it, Therese? Episode 20?
Wow.
We're at double digits now, man.
Not bad. Just wait till we get to 100.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, guys. We're out.
Peace out.
Have a good one.
You've been listening to the Small Business Puzzle Podcast. To catch all our past shows, visit sbppodcast.com.